surprise.
Seats quickly, please. Thank you.
I don't think we're going to get one person to rule tennis, though. That's all the off-court talk. Let's watch the on-court action. Grosjean to serve. Wow. It's not a bad first rally.
All right, it's not going to get any better than that. I'm off.
15 love.
How was that? It's first straight out of the blocks. Both players timing the ball perfectly, and a bullet from Grosjean. Moves like 23. And they've got their figures wrong for Agassi. Again, really does charge this ball down well.
Quick service action Grosjean possesses, and he gets plenty of pace.
Yeah, he can really hit a first serve, and he gets good placement down the middle over the low part of the net as well.
Catch the outside edge of the line.
Certainly did. It's an impressive start by the Frenchman. Again, easier for him to come out and play. The pressure's off. He's done as well as he could expect to do, and anything from now will be a bonus.
No gentle sparring at the start of this match. Flat out, full on.
What an incredible 6 points that we've seen at the start of this match.
Deuce.
And if that's a taste of things to come, it'll be well worth staying up for. How he generated that pace off that ball, I'll never know. One of the toughest things about Grosjean's service return, it's such a flat trajectory over the height of the net, and again there you can see it really skidding off the court, going away. For me, my top 3 picks are sweetest timers of the ball on the tour.
Well, we're going to have to downplay this first game, Mark, because otherwise we're going to run out of superlatives in the first 10 minutes. There's the missus, Stephanie, as she likes to be called now. She's got a lucky seat in the press area. She's not sitting in the players' box. It's become her lucky seat because she's never seen Andre lose when sitting in that seat. Oh, stop it. There's Thierry Toulon.
Advantage Grosjean.
Oh, that's just pure magic from Grosjean. Didn't really have any options, but he found one.
Game Grosjean.
Well, a quiet opening game, really, wasn't it? Service held. What would you expect? Now, if any of you have the chance, set the video and you're watching this not live, you can replay that opening game over and over and over again.
It doesn't get any better than that. Agassi pushing and knocking on the door early on a Grosjean service game, but the Frenchman holding strong. As you said in the pre-warm-ups this, David, that Grosjean been working very hard on his off-court fitness since December. He felt that was the thing that obviously held him back last year. Quite a few injuries, a groin strain, and I think that also contributed to his comeback from 2 sets to love down against Mantilla, because it keeps you mentally strong if you're in great shape. I know Agassi, a great advocate of that.
Well, now we've had an early overrule. I wonder if, in fact, the line judge was unsighted, because Grosjean would have been between him and the ball. Let's have a look at this. Was Jerry Armstrong right to... Ooh, it's perilously close. Come on, Mac cam we need.
15 all.
It certainly was close, wasn't it? But given the angle that we were looking at that, with the air on Jerry's side, being British.
Quarter to 4 on the 21st of January, the first time in his life Mike Petchy said anything nice about umpires.
If you just give me a few minutes, I'm sure there was somewhere else. I'm sure there was one other time.
If he'd have made that, he'd have been walking on water.
I think he was gliding on the court, because how he was able to get round here and get his racket on these. Best bounce smash in the game Agassi has. He never misses one. Grosjean, look at that. Not a bad attempt.
Game Agassi.
1-1. An enthralling opening 8 minutes.
Clinical service game as ever from Agassi early on. Again, the basis of his game is so simple that when he comes out here, he can get into his stride so quickly. Also, a sweet time of the ball, and that's why you'd expect to see high quality straight away from both these men.
Well, I thought he was a little late on that shot, and it was past him.
Again, this is the magic that Grosjean can bring to the court. It was almost like a flap of his wand, and suddenly the ball was disappearing down the hole. Truly is a unique player, Grosjean. That backhand side, he'd got so many coaches that would drill him all day on it, saying, come on, right, we need to get you a nice solid backhand here, keep hitting it, and what he does with it is so difficult to counteract, because he throws down no pace, and then all of a sudden, as we saw on the previous point, he can just cream a winner. But it will, if you can get to him mentally, be the shot that breaks down. Certainly you feel as though Agassi will be plugging away in that area.
So quick to move the feet to get in position alongside the ball.
Agassi just didn't really connect with this routine. See how early he was trying to take it? It was a bit of a miss-hit. Sat up invitingly for Grosjean.
Done him again. The backhand down the line, working sweetly. No breaks then in the opening 3 games, but to do that, the power of the Australian sun.
Seats behind the court, please. Thank you.
What was the problem these days, of course, no sit down after the first game. Big queue of people builds up. They've been out to get some food after the women's match, which, if you weren't with us, or Venus Williams beat Daniela Hantukova in 2 straight sets, 4-3. I was about to say, surely not. This, of course, is on the sideline nearest to Jerry Armstrong, and that one lands plumb on the line. So a correct overrule.
15 love.
Again, it was a shame because it was another point that was building beautifully. Both men just hitting the ball so close to the lines. Expect to see that a lot from Agassi. The big kick serve out wide to the Grosjean backhand up high. Get it above the Frenchman's shoulders. Difficult to generate a lot of pace from up there.
Grosjean only 5'9", 1m75. Agassi 5'11", 1m80. Told, of course, by the French Federation at one stage, go away, you're too small, you'll never make it.
13-15.
Well, they don't always get it right, but they do a pretty good job. French Federation, but certainly Grosjean's come back to prove them and everybody else that he's here to stay.
Out.
You just wonder when you watch a game like this whether Grosjean's being a little too passive at times. He doesn't really want to be getting worked all over the court like Agassi likes to when you're playing a best of 5 match in this sort of heat.
Agassi in his first 2 service games has conceded just 2 points.
2 games all.
Agassi understands it better than anyone else that in a best of 5 it's not about the first 4 or 5 games, not about the first set. You can always come out very hot and roasting on a day like this, and then all of a sudden you start cooling off, and he'll at the moment just be chipping away at Grosjean.
Just stunning stuff.
Well, just when you think it's surely going to take a bit of a lull this match after 4 games, it just goes up another notch.
Service.
It was a smart shot, but it was also a great shot by Grosjean. Serve setting up the opportunity in that time, going back behind Agassi, not going in for the obvious shot into the gap.
Doesn't want to overdo the drop shot.
Again, this is the pressure that Agassi brings to bear on you in a match. I mean, yeah, it's been a stunning 4 games, and all for us, we've enjoyed every moment. But for Grosjean, he's probably at this moment thinking, gee, I'm playing unbelievable, and I'm still sort of struggling to get through my service games.
Well, maybe he's planning the long term and thinking, well, if he makes Agassi run and run and run, the legs have got to go on the 32-year-old.
Maybe that's the thought process going through Grosjean, but certainly Agassi as fresh as ever there, getting up to that one.
First break point of the match.
Deuce.
Good professional job done on the first break point of the match by Grosjean, making sure he got his first serve in. Something he hasn't been doing too much of. Just 35% of first serves going in early on for Grosjean in this match.
Advantage Grosjean.
Agassi, in contrast, 70% of his first serves have gone in so far.
Well, it's a difficult proposition really for Grosjean, because you can understand, as again we see Thierry Toulon, his coach, he's got to go, if he goes for his first serve big, he's going to get a lot of cheap points, because hopefully he's going to hit a few aces, he's going to get some weak replies from Agassi. But if he misses it a lot, obviously Agassi's going to be jumping all over that second serve.
Solid volley.
Advantage Grosjean.
A man who was World Junior Champion in both singles and doubles back in 1996.
Deuce.
First double fault of the match. And it's fourth deuce of this game.
Just marvel at the control that Agassi has on the ball. Again there, just working his opponent side to side, and with plenty of margin for error, just keeping the Frenchman off balance. Almost a little desperation in that last backhand.
Second break point.
First service.
Not going to overrule down the centre line because you can't see it. Agassi breaks through.
Agassi leads.
3-2.
Love 15.
First double from Agassi. And only the third point he's conceded on serve.
South, that was wide.
15 all.
Jerry Armstrong saying he can't overrule that one on the far sideline. Now the fish is getting bigger by the second.
Jerry can't step in on that.
And that's what he's saying.
First service.
See, ball kid's got to go back to the net, can't take up position at the back of the court.
When you watch Agassi and how, as you say, particular is about where everybody is on the court and how it's all set out, you know, it makes you wonder what he's thinking when he's saying at the French Open when Bill Clinton arrived in that match with Grosjean, he said, I didn't even know he was here.
Yes, I think all of us looked at each other and said, oh yeah. A real change of the line of attack on the second serve, catching Grosjean by surprise.
Agassi.
Again, Agassi holds to 15, and he consolidates the break.
Agassi leads 4 games to 2.
The most impressive service game as well by Agassi, not just because he's making a good percentage of his first serves, but also what he's backing up with, and Grosjean unable to get into any of the rallies on Agassi's serve on an equal footing.
Gosh.
Love 15.
They're getting an awful lot of overrules, and I wonder if the line judges are all a little bit uptight. Well, now hang on, that's not the one, Mr. Director. It was the previous shot down Agassi's end.
Going through Grosjean's mount right now. It's tough enough playing Agassi without having to play a few bad line calls as well.
Can't afford misses like that. Not with Agassi playing so solidly.
It's the psychological pressure that Agassi brings to bear on you in a match like this. It's a good forehand here by Grosjean, but he feels as though he's got to hit this shot a little better than he actually has to because he's playing Agassi. Just wondering if Agassi picked that up as it was coming off the strings or while it was still on the strings. Just waiting for that serve.
Second ace from Grosjean. First was in the first game.
Not bad, but still 2 Ks slower than Venus Williams' fastest serve in her match.
Yeah, but she's taller than him.
Game, Grosjean.
Grosjean holds to stop the run of 3 straight games that had been accrued against him.
Agassi leads 4
Agassi,
games to
though,
2.
has the... It's a trait that Ivan Lendl has started to bring out a freshly strung racket with a new set of balls, thinking that needs the tension to be absolutely right. Thinking that Andre might have done better to advance to the net a little sooner.
Talking about change of rackets, they're seeing changes of foot in the world of tennis in terms of trying to get the racket head size to be smaller again.
15 all.
First ace from Agassi, comes off a second serve. Yes, a number of former players saying the racket head size should be limited to the same size as the old wood rackets. American lawyers are already getting ready to issue the writs for restraint of trade, I fear.
Yeah.
30-15.
Yeah, I think technology may have just moved on a touch too far to go back to regress that far. I think it's the same with golf. I think they have made the changes now to stop it where it is, but certain clubs will be banned in about 2005 that are currently on the market. But to go back to that size head and everything else, I think it's just too difficult to monitor. In terms of the players are going to play with that, the social players are going to play with a different size racket.
Did that come over?
It was just incredible.
40-30.
I mean, I don't even know he got his racket on. Let it flicked it for a winner.
Hard to believe some of the stuff we're seeing out there. Grosjean contributing his full measure.
Deuce.
Well, when you watch 7 games, and we've almost played 8 games now, of this sort of quality tennis, you wonder why anyone wants to change the sport.
Agassi.
Dropping a couple of laser-guided bombs onto the Grosjean baseline, inch perfect.
No, pushed it long. Agassi maintains his advantage, the one break.
Agassi leads 5 games to 3.
And Grosjean must now serve to stay in this opening set.
Not completely convinced about the Grosjean tactic on the drop shot. You're playing against a guy who entrenches himself right on the baseline, and most of the time inside the baseline. It's not a huge run for him to pick up the drop shot. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about sweet timing that Grosjean has. Yes, it just dropped over the baseline, but look at the power he generates.
Love 30.
Well, Agassi would love to seal this set with another break. Grosjean, while he's upped his first serve percentage just a fraction, it's still way too low.
Love 40.
Resignation over Grosjean. That was opening set.
Agassi with 3 chances to claim it. And he does so by breaking Grosjean for the second time, and this time to Love. On the face of it, it looks a very easy set. It's absolutely fascinating. 41 minutes. Agassi takes it by the margin of 6 games to 3. So the stats, and Grosjean's obviously got to get the first serve percentage up, but you look at the winners to unforced errors category, and Grosjean has a surplus, and yet he lost the set with 2 breaks against him.
Yeah, I think again his winners came at the beginning of the match when they were neck and neck, and then quite a few unforced errors in the second half of it. So the unforced error winner count would have been the other way round for the second half of the set for Grosjean. But it was a stunning set of 10. It dropped off a little bit. I think Grosjean actually, to be honest, I think he just lost belief in himself that he had any chance of winning that set. Such was the standard of Agassi's play. And plenty for him to mull over, I think. Quick comment on the rackets, Dave. Are you a fan of going back to that?
I would love to see it. I don't think it will happen. I think the whole idea is, of course, that modern technology and in particular the increased size of the racket head has given you a bigger sweet spot. It's easier to hit the ball, and the feeling is tennis is becoming a little one-dimensional. We're seeing the demise of serve and volleying. It's all big topspin heavy hitting from the baseline. Do you think it would happen? Are you in favour of reducing the size of racket heads?
I just think it's the way of the world, to be honest. I think, you could say that about so many industries around the world. Why don't you go into the city and ask them to get rid of computers so you can get manual accountants back, and then you get a few more jobs and you'll have zero unemployment.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Second set, Agassi to serve, having won the first 6-3.
15 love.
I'm just not sure when you look at the sort of videos of the olden times, whether at times that wasn't, a little bit sort of one-dimensional. People playing at the back of the court and then having to come into net to finish it off because they didn't have the power to hit a winner.
Yes, you certainly couldn't hit a winner from that far back with the old wooden rackets. That's not being suggested, going back to wood. Seconds.
30-15.
see that Grosjean was making an attempt to win the real estate battle, but unfortunately for him, it's not his natural style of play. He's more of a counter puncher, coming up with the big shots when he's pushed wide, and there he was a little rushed on the shot.
Well, not often do you say poor footwork about Agassi, but just not in position there.
Really go through a string of bad shots, Agassi. Again, he just backs it up so quickly. Quick footwork, takes the ball on the rise. Didn't give Grosjean any time to recover after the return of serve. The Frenchman creating the angle there, managed to get his body a long way away from the ball, and it just enabled him to go a little bit more inside out. Very surprising miss, that one by Agassi, and it's given Grosjean his first opportunity to break.
First service.
Well, I wonder if he's disappointed with the forehand or incredulous about the second serve. Again, what a gutsy serve by Agassi.
Almost as if he's been caught out by these no-pace block returns. Another break point.
Doing all the right things. Sometimes you feel with Agassi, once it was comfortable at the end of that first set, that the first couple of games of the next set, he can just wander a little bit mentally, and especially once he got up 40-15, felt as though he took his foot off the gas, and he struggled to put it back on straight away. Aggression in that return from Grosjean. Just too tame, mopped up by Agassi.
This now for the 5th time. Making this the longest game of the match so far.
So quick to gain the initiative in a rally, Agassi.
Well, no wonder Grosjean applauds, as you were admiring the slice of Grosjean. He knifed it, kept it so low, and Agassi still hits a winner down the line over the high part of the net.
God, that was some point. Grosjean did so well just to hang in there, and I thought it actually turned around with that forehand that he sort of hit slice squash shot like to the baseline, but Agassi, he just doesn't let you go. He's like a lion. Once he's got hold of his prey, he just hangs on to it. There again, just kept hitting through the ball, and that last backhand was something a little special.
Grosjean then unable to take advantage of his first chances to break.
This again is why Agassi doesn't want to stop playing tennis, and why he could probably play for another 4 or 5 years. He's hitting the ball so well, and it's just a love of the game, and why wouldn't you enjoy it when you're this good?
You can't hit a winner from there.
Agassi's almost disbelieving here, and yeah, well, he ended up running away. I think he thought the ball was going to go long, but Grosjean's speed keeping him in there, but he's having to cover so much of the court. It's a strange thing when everyone keeps talking about it, isn't it? Agassi, you know, when's he going to retire? He's 32 years old. You know, he's got so much of his life ahead of him, and I mean, what a great feeling to wake up in the morning and think, hey, there's possibly only one person on the planet better than me at what I do at my job. Why would you want to give that up?
Next, first service.
Particularly when it pays you over $2 million a year in prize money alone. Then you add on all the endorsements.
I think him and Stephanie have probably got to the stage of their lives when they're not worrying about their mortgage.
What are they reported to have paid for the estate on the San Francisco Bay Area? $26 million?
It was the sort of figures that I associate with dialing people rather than paying for houses. Must be a little soul destroying for Grosjean here, because he's played a good match, but nothing is coming easily his way.
So the chance for Agassi to make it 4 straight games and to break for the 3rd time.
Finally, a little gem of his own. Backhand down the lines, done a fair bit of damage against Agassi today. It's a high-risk policy.
Advantage Grosjean.
What have I got to do, says Grosjean.
Use.
Might be wanting to bring his chair out after the changeover, I think, bringing down the end that he's going to. And these are some brutal rallies. And after a five-setter in his previous match, he's going to start catching up with Grosjean.
Advantage Grosjean.
Couldn't have placed that any better. Nice sharp angle on the smaller man.
Grosjean clings on. Good effort to do so. Applauded by Coach Toulon.
Why does Agassi still say that he lives in Vegas if he's spending his time in San Francisco? Quick pop quiz for you, David.
Don't know.
Because all the tax rates across America are all different in different states.
Ah, and Nevada's is lower than California's.
Well, I would figure so, because otherwise he might be stating that he's living in San Francisco.
Nope, just missed it.
15 love.
Yes, let's not talk about tax, because this is the month that we self-employed people have to fork out.
This is just punishment for Grosjean. Again, he's playing some good tennis, but he's just finding himself behind her, just coming up one shot short every time. Again, the philosophy behind Agassi's play is so simple. That kick serve out wide, wait for the return that's 95% of the time going to come back cross court, and then start running your opponent around.
That's ridiculous.
Agassi leads 2
Quite
games to 1.
unbelievable. Agassi leads 2-1.
Well, he's played every single shot that you'd ever want to see. It's been a clinic so far. Unfortunately for Grosjean, he's not even paying for the pleasure. He's getting it for free. And sometimes you don't mind getting humiliated if you've asked for it, but he didn't ask for this. And again, Agassi there, I mean, he almost stumbled. I didn't even think he wasn't even on balance when he flicked up that lob. And again, everything has gone his way. But the one good thing that happened in those last couple of games for Grosjean was that he managed to hang on to his serve, and the key to this second set could be if he can just stay with Agassi. It'll be a totally different proposition around 4-all in the set when there's a little bit of pressure on the American. It can make the difference, just a double fault here or there, but really it's a question of Grosjean just hanging on to Agassi's coattails at the moment.
Sebastian Grosjean playing well, but getting beaten. An inspired Andre Agassi. Still not a cloud in the sky. Agassi leading 6-3 and 2-1. They're on serve, though, in the second set. 2 breaks of serve to Agassi in the first. The winner to play either Wayne Ferreira or Juan Carlos Ferrero.
Seats at the ends of the court, please. Thank you. Let's first service. Let first service.
Another line-splitting winner.
15 love.
Really punched a hole through Agassi's defences with this shot, Grosjean.
Chip charge tactics from Agassi working really well.
More of a blast and charge from Andre. So often successful at net because it's such a simple put away. Agassi right now is playing at a level you rarely see. I mean, such control and penetration at that backhand. It's so forceful. Frenchman's first serve is still under 50%. You can see the difference when he makes it.
So Grosjean is doing what Mark Petchey wants him to do, hanging on to Agassi's coattails in the second set. No breaks so far.
It's amazing to see Agassi still so motivated, and it would be fascinating to know what his personal goals are left in the game, what he wants to try and achieve over the next few years. Obviously Grand Slams, but how many? If he's put a magic number on it. Certainly you feel if he got up to 10 slams, if that was possible over the next couple of years, grabbed that number, it would be an interesting debate between who's the best player ever between Sampras and Agassi.
Andre's at 7 Grand Slam titles at the moment.
Agassi with the full complement of Grand Slams as well, so it would be an interesting debate. For Grosjean is that his service games are taking so much out of him, hasn't got too much left to concentrate on trying to break the Agassi serve.
Still the glorious winner's flow.
Just impeccable timing on this forehand.
Comfortable hold for Agassi.
Agassi leads 3 games to 2.
And by virtue of serving first in the second set, he has the advantage. 3-2 on the serve. Yes, it will be very interesting to see how much longer he stays in the game. I mean, most guys are thinking of retiring by the time they get to his age now. Andre will be 33 in April.
Yeah, I think it'd be around a few years. I mean, I think that when you talk to a lot of people now in sport, I mean, it's just getting later. I think up till probably 10 years ago, 30 was the magic number, whereas now you look at certainly basketball players and people like that, they're actually starting to peak around 30. Certainly golfers, you know, again, it's around 30 is when they feel as though they're going to start playing their best. So as long as the body stays strong, and certainly Agassi, one of the fittest, if not the fittest player still on tour, so as long as the body holds strong, he doesn't get too many more injuries, I don't see any reason why he can't be playing for another 4 or 5 years. And certainly Connors was still around, different style of play, but
Darren Cahill, the coach of Andre Agassi these days, of course. He'll be thrilled with the way Andre is playing. He leads by a set 3-2. Grosjean to serve. Well, the net cord, crucial there. Might well have been a winner, but for the intervention at the top of the tape.
Frenchman really unlucky there because it was a good serve and he did everything right in terms of the forehand, but it just clips the top of the tape And sits up perfectly for Agassi. He was never going to miss that. Just got the power in his ground shots, Agassi, to be able to force Grosjean a little further out wide on that backhand and really expose the Frenchman's backhand for what it is.
He saved one break point in his opening service game of this set, Grosjean. Agassi will be very keen not to let another opportunity slip through his fingers. And he doesn't. And Agassi's grip on this match has become a little tighter.
Agassi leads 4 games to 2.
The first break of the second set, and it's a 4-2 lead.
Oh, it's just so tough for Grosjean right now to get the balance right between playing his natural game and playing the one that he knows can beat Agassi when Agassi's playing in this sort of form. And unfortunately for him, he's bitten off a little bit more than he could chew on that last shot. Just trying to win a point is quite a big achievement at the moment for Grosjean.
Yes, the one danger now is that he will get dispirited. Would be understandable, but I think it might land on the very top of the net and dribble over.
Agassi leads 5 games to 2.
Agassi emphasises the break in emphatic fashion. Looks very good for 2 sets to love.
Look at that last serve that Agassi hits, and I suppose some people are looking at it saying, well, he keeps doing it, why doesn't Grosjean do something about it? But it's so difficult to do anything about it. It's halfway up the box, you can't really stand any closer, and it's jumping up high to Grosjean, who's having to play it up over his shoulders. I mean, the only thing the Frenchman could possibly do is try and almost run in and take it on the half volley, or, you know, try and slice it and come in. I mean, that's why Agassi has trouble against a guy like Sampras with the slice backhand and the chip charge, that once a set, Pete gets onto it and knifes a couple, and Andre's got to come up with a quick pass, and it's not easy to do, but there's very few players now that can really take that ball on and make Agassi be under pressure. So, you know, he really does play to his strengths all the time.
New balls means another change of racket for Andre Agassi. Looks nicely in control of this match, leading by a set and 5 games to 2. Just the one break though in the second set. Grosjean to serve.
is playing balls that he doesn't even need to. Agassi, again, just jumping all over that second serve. Far too short by Grosjean.
Well, Grosjean thinks it was wide, but there's been no call, and this time no. Oh, well, there must have been a call.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's 15 all.
30-15.
It was.
Sharp ears, David. Must be in tune with Jerry. There's that umpire thing going on.
That's right. Reading the vibes. 4 aces.
Well, that's what Grosjean's unable to do on the Agassi service games when Agassi throws in that serve to him, but Andre's so strong. Too stressful a day watching Agassi.
Certainly not. And here we go. Set point. That's cruel. He doesn't need luck at the moment. But of course, it's almost said that you generate your own luck. And Agassi at the very peak of his form. As in the first set, 2 breaks of serve in his favour in the second. There's 2 sets to love up. "78 minutes, an hour and 18 minutes the match has lasted, and well, with all due respect to Felix Magnetia, Andre Agassi's rather different, and you just can't see Grosjean coming from 2 sets to love down to win this one.
There's some stats as well. I think, again, good illustration and perfectly correct on how this match has been. It's been the highest quality, and it's about this sort of time that you start feeling a little sorry for Grosjean, because he hasn't done too much wrong. He's just been totally outplayed. And again, talk about when, you know, America looking for the next Agassi, the next Sampras. Well, they don't just come around, you know, like the number 27 bus. There's something a little bit special, and when they do come and they last, they've got this ability to evolve with the game and get better and better as their careers go on. And you can see it today. Agassi is just in a different league.
And if he can sustain this form for the rest of the tournament, you just can't imagine anybody denying him a 4th Australian Open.
Well, in boxing terms, pound for pound, he's the best boxer or player left in the draw.
Time.
Sebastian Grosjean looking a little shell-shocked out there, playing well but getting thumped.
Not a good feeling.
We can only hope that Agassi loses the plot somewhere.
That's it. Agassi to serve. Thank you.
This could be the moment that Agassi does go slightly off the ball, if he does. score's really going against Grosjean. He just needs a little something. Give him a ray of light.
And even when he's under a little bit of threat on serve at 15:30, there's no letting off from Agassi. There's nothing cautious.
I mean, how did he lean into that ball as well? I mean, he was reaching for it. It was almost 5 feet in front of his body. This match starting to resemble the match that Safin played against Grosjean in the final of Davis Cup. And both players have got that ability to take the Grosjean ground shots on, stop them from jumping up high, take them early on the rise, and really keep Grosjean on the defensive.
First game, third set.
5 straight games now for Andre Agassi. It's 2-all in the second set. Grosjean's got to stop that run here and now, because Andre, if he can get away to a lead in this third set, is just going to steamroller him.
Every time Grosjean takes a look over at the scoreboard, that weariness that perhaps he's feeling after the Mantilla match will just be getting a little more. The legs will be getting slightly heavier, and that belief will be draining away slightly quicker.
It's number 5.
The clothing company that Agassi wears was named after a Greek god, and that's pretty much how Agassi's playing right now. It's tennis, but it's from a different planet. Grosjean is that for him to hit his winners, he's got a little bit less margin for error.
Well, ever since the first ball of this match, Andre has been hitting the ball so well. 2 points to make it 6 straight games.
And a little bit of genius there from Grosjean.
30-14.
It had to be. It was a well-struck shot by Agassi. It was the right thing to do down the middle. Yeah, I almost got the feeling Agassi was embarrassed to have taken that point if he'd have won it. The way he reacted, it was a great get here by Grosjean, but there was only one real shot he could have come up with, was the drop shot, and Agassi sort of hung back.
Done so well to get himself out of trouble. Now he's put himself right back in it. Third break point of the game.
Fabulous backhand, and perhaps the forehand a little closer to the line than he would have liked, Grosjean. Or perhaps fearing that Agassi was going to be able to run it down. He wasn't too far away, the American, either.
Advantage Agassi.
Not what was needed. It's only a second double. Brings up break point number 4 of this game.
Still plenty of fight left in the Frenchman.
Deuce.
Again, he's just having to graft away on his own service games just to hang on. He's not getting any relief to some time to contemplate breaking Agassi.
Advantage Grosjean.
One thing I would say about Grosjean in this match, that if you were to get a video of it and think, well, what could I have done differently, is I don't think he's got the ball out of Agassi's hitting zone particularly well. I think it's a lot of his shots have come in at waist height into Agassi, and especially the kick serve out to the ad side, he hasn't really made it jump at all. And if you look at where Agassi's stepping in and taking it, it's always at a nice, comfortable height. You see there, it's, you know, it's a nice serve, but it's coming through just where Agassi wants it. He's never going to miss that.
5th break point. How well Grosjean is doing to cling on.
Advantage Agassi.
amazing if Grosjean can continue to save all these break points.
Saved it with some style as well.
Yes.
Agassi. And asked the question of Grosjean because there wasn't too many options left over at that stage for the Frenchman. He picked the right one.
Advantage Agassi.
Conventional backhand, and he doesn't employ too much left arm into it, Grosjean, and bend the ball back in. There's a tendency to let that racket get behind the wrists. Good applause from the Aussie crowd. They're appreciating the effort that Grosjean's putting into this match and trying to stay on some sort of level with Agassi.
It's deuce for the 7th time now.
Advantage Agassi.
Exhaustion, one suspects.
There's just been no respite at all, has there, for Grosjean in this match? I mean, every single point Agassi's at least forced them to play. I thought it was an ace.
8th break point. Oh, colossal.
Deuce.
It has to be this good. That's Grosjean's 32nd winner in this match to Agassi's 25, but the American with just 10 unforced errors. Just 10.
First service.
Grosjean has been hurt in that department, 28 unforced errors, but for him, he's chasing the point a lot of the time.
Advantage Grosjean.
He saved 8 break points. This is only his 2nd game point. That was barely inside the baseline.
Deuce.
Right onto the outside edge of the line. What a way to win an extraordinary game. And if Grosjean somehow manages to win this match, which is a massive if, he'll look back and say, well, that's the game in which I started to turn it around.
One game all.
The match in itself, that one game. I think, again, that's only going to serve to make Grosjean even more weary.
Lap 15.
Great play by the Frenchman. Still thinking clearly. Good move in, recognising early that Agassi was going to have to hit the slice.
A little optimistic.
Incredible how Agassi can control point after point after point. And there is nothing seemingly that Grosjean can do about it. Just when you think the Frenchman's got Agassi in some trouble on his serve, Agassi responds with 3 great points.
Yes, having missed those break points and going down lap 30, this really appeared to be the moment for Grosjean. Agassi had other ideas. And of course the ability to conquer those little crises. Agassi's had many in this match. So important. His former coach Brad Gilbert, the expert at winning the big points no matter how.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a huge difference obviously in Agassi's game since Cahill took over the end of the year. I mean, you're not going to mess around too much with the fundamentals of his game, but I certainly feel as though he's got a little bit more control on the ball. I feel as though he's not making so many errors. He's not rushing the ball. He's not trying to overhit at any stage. He really is commanding the rally side to side so well. And I think again Cahill's just sort of emphasised the point to him that you're so much better than everybody else in that department, that get the ball into play, don't make too many loose shots because you're just giving the guys a free ride. And you can see today Grosjean, he just hasn't been given anything.
That's a magnificent sight, isn't it? I suppose unless you're in the sun, you might be asking for a little bit of cloud cover, but these two men have put on a sparkling match to match a sparkling day.
Seats at the end of the court. Thank you.
How many times have we seen a winner struck that straddles the line?
He did well here, Grosjean, to generate the sort of pace from that sort of, it was a lowish ball, and he really did give it some down the line.
That's for service.
Well, it's a simple theory that Agassi has on a return of serve, and it's basically try and hit the first one down the line and get your opponent moving, and then continue to get them running all over the court. And that's been what's so impressive on the return today. How often he's got Grosjean chasing the ball straight away.
First service.
As long as Grosjean can keep hanging on to his serve, it will keep his enthusiasm for this match at a high level. Agassi earns his double faults at times by the quality of his returns, and you could see again Frenchman trying to get it on the service line, so worried about the return.
Third double for Grosjean. Agassi knew the into-out one was coming. He was rushing to cover that far corner, but Grosjean struck it to perfection.
Both these guys could have put paint on the balls today and saved the linesman a bit of hassle of painting the lines on, because they've hit it so many times.
Another tough service game for Sebastian Grosjean. And another one he manages to hold.
Fighting respectability at the moment, Grosjean, but if he can continue to hang on, good things might happen. They did against Mantilla. Awesome. And again, Grosjean throwing in quite a mixture of shots there in that rally, and Agassi just dealing with every single one. And finally, the easy put away. Hasn't really dealt with that serve particularly well today, Grosjean. A lot of the times you see him dance around that one and employ the forehand and try and rip one down the line. He hasn't really attempted it against Agassi.
Better service return that time, very aggressive.
Grosjean really letting Agassi get away with quite a poor second serve. I think he needs to do something on the return to change it up, and even if that means trying to run around it and Agassi pops a couple down the tee and he gets aced a couple of times, but at least change the pattern up here. It's a nice rhythm for Agassi on his service games.
Agassi.
Very little respite for Sebastian Grosjean.
He leads 3-2.
Another comfortable service game for Agassi, and Grosjean is behind again. 3-2 and 2 sets to love. Agassi leads. And of course, Grosjean hasn't been able to break serve once in the match, and that's a huge problem for him, obviously.
Something that starts preying on your mind is the fact that you haven't managed to get breakthrough, and then if you do get to break point, it's such a huge moment that you're not really that relaxed that you're going to take it. I suppose on the flip side of that, at the moment, you have to say that Agassi, having squandered those 8 break points at the second game of this third set, that he's probably going to feel a little nervous when the break point comes up now. So maybe just a slight ray of hope. But the problem for Grosjean is that just hasn't been able to change the pattern of the match and make Agassi nervous at all that he might lose it.
Time.
A terrific crowd once again in the Rod Laver Arena. And they've been treated to a vintage display from Agassi, and Sebastian Grosjean contributing his full measure.
Love 15.
Feeling Agassi's knows this is the moment to strike. Just a little bit more intensity in the footwork there. Fantastic hustle by Agassi. And again, that's where all the fitness training, the miles on the track, the running up the side of mountains pays off, just to get you that 1 point and put you in a good position in this game.
Oh dear.
40.
Fourth double fault. 3 more break points for Agassi. Of course, they're 3 in a row. fairness to Agassi, he hasn't exactly held back on the break points. It's inspired Grosjean to bring out his best tennis.
It was a stinging forehand. Well, he hasn't been playing a starring role in this match, but he certainly played his part, Grosjean. And again, Agassi really pressing in that point, but the Frenchman able to turn it around in his favour.
One break point left. 10 saved now in this set. But not the 11th. Agassi finally gets the breakthrough.
Agassi leads 4 games to 2.
And on the basis of what we've seen so far, that is effectively that. But still got to be won. Still chances for Grosjean to turn it around.
He's shown some stiff French resistance in this third set for Grosjean, but Agassi was always chipping away. It was only a matter of time. Here, against anyone else in the draw, Grosjean would have been very competitive today. He has certainly grabbed a set and possibly even won a match in 3 straight, but different proposition against the world number 2.
30-15.
To be honest, and the evidence of what we've seen this week, Agassi probably the best player in the world, such has been the standard of his play.
We know he's the best smasher of the bounced ball. Not a bad smash on the fall from Agassi. 2 points for a 5-2 third set lead.
Game Agassi. Agassi leads 5 games to 2.
1 game away from a place in the semi-finals. And in this sort of form, you just can't see how he's going to lose in this tournament.
It's going to take someone a little special, I suppose, when you look down the draw and you think of El Anoui yesterday and how well he served. Well, that's a different proposition to Grosjean, because you can't actually lay your racket on the ball, but then you've got a shot. So it's going to take a big server, you feel, to take care of Agassi in this sort of form. And Grosjean is thankful for a bit of shade, and that's really where he's been for the entire match, in the shade. Yeah, I agree. I think, you know, it's going to take either Agassi playing badly, he's going to have a real off day, or it's going to take an inspired El Anoui or Roddick to beat him.
Yes, Roddick could come out and have one of those great serving days. Sebastian Grosjean has received a masterclass today. A virtuoso performance from Andre Agassi. That scoreline is cruel to Grosjean because he's played pretty well himself. And Agassi's been magnificent. Serving to stay in the match is the Frenchman.
Let second service.
Because Kerry thought that if Grosjean had played 10% worse than he has, he could have almost got, he could have got the 3 bagels.
And of course, Andre did win 18 straight games against Hyung-Tak Lee in the second round. Good job for Lee. He held serve in the opening game of the match.
I mean, that is such a difficult shot. The ball's kicking away from you, it's jumping up, and finally Grosjean got one that was going up a little higher here, but Agassi taking it so early down the line, and he's making it look so easy to time it.
The doubles have started to creep in this third set. 4 of them, only 1 in the first 2 sets. I think he's just been worn down mentally and physically. Two match points. Well, I thought that Grosjean had a real chance coming into this match, but I hadn't reckoned with Andre Agassi playing at the very peak of his form. That was very special indeed, and I think Andre's reaction there tells you that he has great respect for Grosjean. He certainly wasn't expecting a straight sets victory, let alone won by the margin of 6-3, 6-2, 6-2. He gets a standing ovation, and well, he deserves it.
It was a virtuoso performance by Agassi. I mean, as you said, David, he would have respected Grosjean's game coming into this. He would have known he would have needed to play some quality tennis. I don't think he would have, even he wouldn't have expected to play quite as well as he did. I mean, Grosjean, with no disgrace in the way that he played. I thought he played a good match, funnily enough, when you look at the score.
One of the few errors now from Enna Arden at this stage in the first set. She was spraying them a little alarmingly.
Rana Pascal probably can't believe this. She's played so well and she's on a roll. She's feeling confident, and yet here she is 6-2, 1 love down.
It was away. Third double. Not been lucky with that baseline. Just gone the wrong side of it a number of times. A miss, but a terrific volley, changing direction from Enna.
Yes, and she's really pressurising her opponent. This looked a very rushed shot, as though she didn't really know what to do with it.
Yeah, she liked that, and no wonder.
Yes, well taken out in front.
So from love 30, chance to make it 2 love. That's looking so controlled now, the volley.